Well, I've known that. I thought this was that.
Yeah, that's why
We're putting cards over here during the hearing of the public. If you'd like to speak, if you would, fill out one of those cards and what subject you want to speak about, and just lay them on the end of the table there in front of Chief Whitaker. In order.
Thank you. At this time, I'll go to the Lord in prayer. Dear God, I thank you again tonight for the opportunity to come together and serve our city. I thank you for this great nation that we're blessed to live in. I thank you for this wonderful city that we're blessed to live in as well. Lord, I pray that you will guide our hearts tonight to be more like you. I pray that you will guide this meeting so that every decision is in the best interest of the citizens of Bonifay. God, I pray that you'll reach down and touch every heart in this room. Bless them in their coming and their going. In your name I pray. Amen. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank y'all for attending tonight. We'll start the meeting. Have a approval of the agenda.
I'll second.
How's it look? Yes. Approval of minutes for the 28th workshop. So moved. Second. How's it look?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Same thing, the 28th regular session. Approval of minutes. So moved. Second motion. How's it look? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, approval of accounts payable.
Make
I'll second that motion.
All right, how's the vote?
Yes.
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 Okay. USDA application public meeting, Mary Gap.
Right here.
Thank you for coming.
You're welcome. So the city of Bonifay applied, for a grant only, that's not really a refinance, when you purchase a tractor backhoe, you were paying a lease payment for it, and, so what, I told my son, just apply for a grant, and, just pay it off. And so that's what they decided to do, and so I prepared an application, submitted it to USDA. And one of the requirements of the application is to hold a public meeting. And the public meeting is to, give the status of the application. Application's been submitted. Public meeting is the last thing that needs to be done, which is, tonight. And, service area is the city of Bonifay. It's utility equipment, I guess, for the utility department. And then, if there were any environmental impacts, which there are not, it's a categorical exclusion, and so it's equipment purchase only. The only other thing is to pass a resolution accepting the grant. And so, you know, what will happen from here is, once the funds are obligated by USDA, you know, that grant can be left out there for 5 years if that's what you want to do. If you decide not to proceed, you know, with, closing on the grant. But, that's the purpose of having a public meeting, for USDA.
Okay, so you need a motion from the board?
Yeah,
To
to
accept
accept
this?
the grant, and $60,300 is the amount of the grant.
Right. Okay, I entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion. I'll second the motion.
Second. All right, how's the vote?
Yes.
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 That's myself.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's it. Thank you.
All right, planning and engineering. Okay, city planner, McDonald, Dewberry, Melvin Engineering. Okay, old business. Rick, here, read this, water and wastewater rates.
An ordinance of the city council of the city of Bonifay, Florida, repealing ordinance 427 of the city of Bonifay relating to water and sewer utility rates, adopting and establishing minimum utility water and sewer rates for residential and commercial customers, providing for severability and providing for an effective date. Effectively, what this ordinance does, the rate study last year had recommended a study that the council voted to put in place over a 3-year period. And this ordinance will actually hold the rate the same this year and not increase it effective October 1st. This was the second reading.
Okay. After the second reading, does anybody have a public comment about the water rate? You can go to the podium.
It's actually staying the same.
Yes.
Staying the same.
If this ordinance is not adopted, then the automatic increase would take effect.
Okay.
We need a motion.
We need a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, how's the vote?
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay. New business. Okay.
We're going on record now.
All right.
Need to record now.
Okay, Mr. Macon can take the podium at this time. Okay?
I would ask that the record reflect that pursuant to section 166.0494, subsection 2 Florida statutes, the city of Bonifay has provided the opportunity for Mr. Macon to appear and provide a full response to the council regarding his termination following his written notice last week.
Last question about that, was Mr. Macon notified of this? certified letter. It was handed to
Service.
He's got legal service, he's got it on his letter.
Okay, personnel updates?
We'll go off the record now.
I don't have any personnel updates, unless somebody else on the council does. Department updates? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, can we go back to personnel, update? Matt, how did he do?
Matt actually got cleared to come back to work today. He actually had snuck out of the house and come down and worked 3 or 4 days last week. But, he's doing much better, and he said after the 4 stents that were placed, that now that he's over the surgery, that he can tell that he's got more energy and feels much better.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else? Okay, the visitors can, address the council.
James Russell?
You've heard. I'm here to ask for Larry Cook to step down due to the racial comments made to an employee he had before firing Chief Macon, due to the unlawful acts that he has, well, just inside the city at all. And if you won't, I'm gonna ask the council to remove him.
I second it.
Mitchell Eddie Harkus?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, all up, wondered what the devil the reason the light line, the water and the garbage and all going up. That's what I wanna find out. Why is it going up higher than it used to be? After 14 years, and going like that? Don't look at that. That's all I wanted to find out.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Vicki Clemens?
Mr. Cook, can you tell me what nepotism is? Do you know the definition? I will ask for my contact and answer me. Do you know the answer? Do you know the definition of nepotism? Yes or no?
I don't think whispering among members, at the table is legal.
We're not.
I'm asking for advice from the attorney.
And we need to be able to hear that.
Yep. Sunshine law, public meeting.
Sunshine law, sir.
Okay, I asked the attorney if we've been told in the past that this is a chance for you to speak to us, or to them, not me, but they are not required to answer.
That's fine.
Not required, but not prohibited.
Right.
So it shows the lack of concern for the questions and the people that are asking the questions.
Evidently, he doesn't understand. Maybe we need to explain.
That is the practice of those in power or government to use their influence of favoring relatives, friends, or associates, especially by giving them jobs or special considerations in decisions that they make? Wouldn't having your son as the chief of the fire department while you were mayor or even as a council person be nepotism? You don't know, okay. Wouldn't the appointment of your friend Mr. Whitaker as police chief be another example of nepotism? I'll let you stay for a minute. I'll ask for it back. Is that yes or no? Does anyone have an answer for that? Not just Mr. Cook, being he's the mayor, I believe he would have an answer. This is a question that the community would like to know.
I'm probably gonna be out of turn, but I've sat here as long as I can.
Yes, sir.
Is there a problem with the fire department?
With the fire department?
Yes, ma'am.
No, sir, there's a problem with that man electing
Well,
himself
then-
mayor.
Then let's keep the fire department out.
And assistant fire chief, and voting the budget, and voting his son's
Let's keep every bit of this out of here, correct?
No, if there's not a problem with the fire department, let's.
Well, you can't hold two seats, sir, from my understanding. If you
Thank
can,
you, Ms.
please
Lemon.
explain that you can. No, I want my time back, please.
No, ma'am. Who's next?
Rosalie,
Larry Cook, you're out of order.
Rosalie McLean.
Mr. Callahan, how much is the difference between your salary of the city clerk of Sherry Smith position as executive assistant?
Mr. Mayor, I apologize. I'm gonna go out of order now. I have dealt with this battle for 2 weeks. My salary is $23 an hour for the whole entire room. In case you wanna know, it's not $70,000, it's $23 an hour. And I'm finished.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Callahan, do you work or in your office from 9 to 5 every day, the 7 days a week?
No, ma'am, I'm there from 7 till sometimes 8 at night. I get there at 7 in the morning. I'm required to be there by 7:30, but I get there early.
Thank you. Mr. Callahan, do you still have active real estate license?
I kept my real estate license active, yes.
Have you ever shown real estate to or any personal buyer or to the sellers during working time of the city?
No, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Frank.
Joyce Everett.
We don't have to run name tonight?
I'm calling your name now.
Okay, the subject is the grants. The city is pursuing grants for the rec center, correct?
City has been awarded a grant for the rec center.
Okay, if the grant is awarded, who will be overseeing that grant?
HUD.
Oh, fantastic. What are their qualifications for overseeing the grant? What's the difference?
The Housing and Urban Development.
Right.
What are their qualifications?
No, I said they've got, that HUD's pretty good. We'll deal with that. What is the expected administrative fee that gets paid to the administrator?
I don't remember how much, but there's an administrative fee in the grant. It was a congressional appropriation provided to the city by Congressman Neil Dunn.
Oh, okay, Neil does, okay. How does anyone qualified seek to be the administrator of a grant for the city?
We put out RFQs.
And when is that done, and where is it, and
It will be
is the
done
public
as
know
we
about
get
it?
further.
No.
We just completed the agreement.
And where is it? Oh, you haven't published it yet.
No, ma'am, they haven't signed it, sent it back to us.
One other question, we want our chief, not a question, a statement, we want our chief back.
Yes.
Thank you, Joyce. Can I make a comment? Next person. Gail Quinlan.
Mr. Crook, whatever, on your election marquee, you had no new taxes. So now that you're the interim mayor, and you're talking about raising taxes, old people can't live now. You try to live on what I'm living on, and then you tell me to go. And what do you got to say about that?
Yeah.
Hello? I'm up there. Your turn. Are you not going to raise the taxes? Are you going to raise the taxes? Are you? What the hell are we asking questions for if we're not going to get an answer to nothing?
Why are you gonna stop her out? Don't try it. Why did you ask her name?
Robert Urquhart.
That's 2 M's in Clemens on that one.
I wish I'd heard what was said, but I couldn't. I'd just like to make a statement first. I used to be proud of Bonifay. Served my country for 28 years. Always told people where I was from. I'm ashamed of it now. I'm ashamed that every one of you behind that desk, maybe except John. People ask me questions. People won't answer. And if you're gonna sit there and just be quiet.
I don't need to be there.
For myself, and I know why you're wrong. You're too chicken.
Yes.
You're afraid people are going to find the truth out.
Yes.
That's what it is. And I tell you what, another thing I want to ask you, when I was here. Larry Cook has got a junkyard. You go down Evans Avenue, he has cleaned up the front, thank God, he's cleaned that up. You go down Oklahoma Street, the other side of it, nothing but junk. And I noticed he had police cars out on this lot. It's no longer there, and I imagine he probably got somebody talking about those. But anyway, if you don't want to answer your question, that's fine. But that's what I want to talk about. It's not only Larry, it's Cotton Street, it's All-Star Tire, it's the new place over at the Shipley place, got junk all around. And I've heard Michelle sit there and tell me they can't do anything because their grandfather's in as a business. Not a junkyard, a business. And if you've got a car sitting out on your lots and been there for years and months, no engine, no tires, it's not being worked on, it's not being repaired. It's a piece of junk.
It
should be in a junkyard. Not at Larry Cook's where he can sell parts out of police department cars. Have you done that, Larry? You're not going to answer that, are you, directly? Have you sold parts out of a car, engines out of police cars? Has the city got record of those cars, where they're supposed to go? I know where they're supposed to. They're supposed to be auctioned off, not down on Larry Cook's parking lot where he can sell the parts. Thank you.
I'm hoping my question will be kind of simple, and I'm hoping y'all will answer it to maybe just clear the questions by all of us out here. But my question is, citizen to be placed on the agenda for a council meeting. Is it still like it was, or what kind of information do we have to give you to be at a council meeting, or put on the agenda for the council meeting?
You need to make a request to me as city clerk, and the deadline for it is 10 days prior to the meeting you want to speak at.
10 days prior to the meeting?
Yes. And we have agenda requests on our website. But if you send me an email and ask for one, I'll send it back to you.
You can email a request.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and where is the policy located? Is that the same as what was in the charter before, or it's still worded the same, right?
I hadn't checked it specifically.
It's been a long time since I've
That's the
been
policy
in
that
charter.
was adopted.
Okay, and is there a restriction on how often or how many times that a citizen can be placed on the agenda to express their concerns or grievances to the council? And is that in the charter?
I can't answer that. That sounds like a legal question.
Michelle, do you have any kind of answer on that?
I can't definitely advise the public.
Okay. And so, what statute or ordinance number would that come under? She's not gonna answer that, apparently. And, I would just like to say that I feel like that the people that don't know me, I'm Judy Powell, I've run for city council before, I was not successful. And that's okay, because that election is the voice of the citizens, and they have that right to vote how they want to vote. But I love Bonifay, and I've tried to show my care for this town by getting involved. I'm reading a lot on Facebook, but I don't take everything that's on Facebook as true. We all know that's just a pastime to read Facebook. So I just want to tell y'all that a lot of the people are saying, why aren't we volunteering? Why aren't we helping our town? I have volunteered. I've put my name on the ballot. I've done a lot to try to help the city of Bonifay for about 4 years straight. This council that knows me and that has been on there long enough will tell you that I was probably at 95 to 99% of those meetings. And I sat at those meetings on either the first or second row most of the time.
Thank you, Ms. Powell.
Pardon?
Thank you.
There you go, you're out of order.
Angela Wilson.
First off, I'd like to say thank you to all the law enforcement, corrections, emergency corrections, and all of the veterans in the room. Thank you for being here. We appreciate y'all. We're here to help y'all. Also, the elderly citizens of this town needs protection from what you're doing to them.
Yes.
No new taxes. See it? It's right there in front of you, Mr. Cook. Why are we taxing? Why are we not balancing a budget? That was your promise. You've already broke it. Yeah? Subject, fair property value and taxation. Who owns the property which we are now occupying, this building, the old high school? Who owns it? Do y'all know? Holmes County Development Commission? Would that sound right? How is this property zoned? Anybody know? It's not just to the mayor. Anybody know? How's it zoned? Nobody knows. What's the actual use? And I would like to understand what the actual use for it is.
Industrial, commercial.
Okay. Why is it still listed as a school?
So that's a lower tax rate.
What is the appraised value for taxation purpose? Anybody got an answer? What is the appraised value? What is the threshold cap on this property that would avoid taxation? Are they not paying taxes? Everybody's got an answer? All right, 1.99 millimeter mills, current assessed value with taxable value set at $7,099,362. Should we be getting taxes? Should we be getting taxes paid on this building? That would be a lot of revenue, wouldn't it? Pay that FRS. No answers for anybody? You know, a lot of y'all's budgets, you can't even answer how the budget works. You know, that's not how you do a budget. You're throwing your elderly folks under the bus, and that is the main group. Thank you for your time.
Richard Wiltie.
I appreciate all of our law enforcement, Bonifay City Police Department. Y'all are a fine group of individuals. Love each and every one of you. In the last meeting, there were several people evicted for various reasons. I hope you go online and refresh yourselves on Chapter 286, Section 114, which addresses the public speaking at a council or governing body. The Ninth Circuit Court of the Federal Judicial said that a person cannot be evicted from a meeting just for causing what you consider a disturbance. It has to be an actual disturbance, meaning something that is causing violence or a threat of violence or something that literally disrupts the meeting. I want you to think about that going forward before you tell officers and give them an unlawful order to remove somebody from a meeting. Because that was an unlawful order. You were out of order, Mr. Cook, when you gave that order, and you're still out of order today. I want to tell Mr. Cook, have you ever been investigated for burning tires, which is illegal under the Department of Environmental Protection standards? I know you won't answer, but I know you have. I would like to provide the council. Wait a minute. Is Mr. Whitaker now the chief of police? Has he been sworn in?
No, he's not.
He hasn't been sworn in yet, right? Okay. I don't know who's going to do code enforcement, but I have here for each council member and Mr. Whitaker. You know what it looks like. I would like whoever's in charge of the code enforcement to issue citations on that property. For anybody that wants to know, it's just like the gentleman talked about the corner of 70 and 90 and Evans Avenue in Oklahoma. All the trash and junk and the violations of the Department of Environmental Protection, not to mention our own Ordinance 414, which is the code that the code enforcement is derived from. It's all clear in there. It talks about vegetation not being over 12 inches high. Oh my goodness, all around the building down there, it's 2 feet, 3 feet high.
Yes.
But I've given you all pictures that you can see very clearly.
Raining bugs, rats,
Okay.
snakes.
You want to raise the budget by 3 mils. You want to raise the taxes by 3 mils to balance your budget. I want to tell you something. I sat down this morning for 4 hours. I have a balanced budget in my hand that has 0 tax increases and actually has a surplus, and it funds every department in the city. Why is it that I can do a budget that balances with no increase in taxes and fully funds every department, but the elected officials that are responsible, the mayor and the city clerk, cannot devise a budget by law that you have to have on time and not raise taxes? Because you know why? If it's on a budget, they're going to spend it. And if they spend it all this year, they want more next year. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's you, Mayor. Destra Moses.
I have spoke to the mayor about the dog pound. You're some plans moving forward, maybe just kind of doing away with the dog pound and just taking the dogs that are homeless and wandering the streets and stuff straight to, I think, to Chipley, to the place there in Chipley. I know they, after a while, they euthanize them. I'm still not over that, but I don't want them at the dog pound, and I've talked to Larry Cook personally about that, and he's gonna work something out where they don't have to be down there. Like the dog pound, I think it's inhumane. I think it's very cruel for those animals to be down there alone. It's cold, it's hot, there's no water, there's no food. So that's my main concern. It's just the animals, you know, the homeless animals, the animals down at the dog pound. And like I said, I have talked to him and he's talked to me about that. So maybe we can get the ball rolling on that, Mr. Cook. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Samantha Perry.
Again, I would like to thank all of our law enforcement, first responders, for everything y'all do. This is a horrible day in our history, for sure. The council, I have a question. Why would you want FRS? Can you tell me who benefits from it, Ricky? Because we could not open that email attachment. The names of the people that would benefit from
All
FRS.
employees.
All employees? All employees already have a choice in Roth IRAs. They can do their own 401k at their own discretion. And I'm sure all of y'all are on that, correct? No?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Mr. Cook did run on new taxes. 3 mills per $100,000 of property value. These little old ladies who are, and little old men who are on a fixed income would have $300 increase per year on their property taxes. That is not fair to them. It's not fair to everybody else to be raising that for 20 employees. That is 0.07% of Bonifay's population. 2,600 to 2,700 people will be funding y'all to do FRS for those employees. This is not the year to do that. And it will incur recurring costs. Just because it's only approximately $180K this year, it's not going to drop off next year. And you're also not going to drop 3 mills off next year. We know that. I'm a property owner. My ad valorem has never went down. It always goes up. You need to look out for your citizens, not for FRS. It's not the time. Those people, if they wanted to, could go work for the state. There are plenty of state jobs available. Bonifay does not have the money for this. Thank you.
Okay, so there's nobody else that wants to address the public? We'll call this meeting adjourned. Oh, you got one?
My name is never called.
Sheila Boswell.
Yeah.
Sorry, Miss
Boswell.
We got caught between a couple more.
No problem.
My apologies.
I'm here, I wanna ask, something about the sunshine law. Of course, I know I'm not gonna get any response back. Mr. Cook, have you ever met with or talked with any of the council members or the former mayor about city business outside of the meeting? Y'all meet at the round table down there? No answer, huh? Mr. Cook, did you have a meeting with a former mayor, Emily McCain, and the volunteer fire chief, Travis Cook, prior to Mayor McCain's resignation? I think you probably had all this all worked out. Ms. McCain's vehicle was seen in your shop after hours prior to her resignation. Can you give us an explanation for this?
I actually can, because it was me driving. I'm Emily McCann's husband.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I was driving the vehicle.
Okay.
Mr. Cook was my fire chief when I was in the fire department.
Yes,
We still maintain, a relationship in that. Yeah.
Larry Van Hickey.
Thank you, Mr. Baldwin.
Is there anybody we missed? Okay. This time I'd like to read a letter, to the interim mayor. Dear Honorable Interim Mayor, Council, it is with heartfelt regret that I inform you I am giving notice of my intent to resign as the city attorney for the city of Bonifay. In accordance with my original contract, I am providing 60 days notice of my resignation. I will continue to serve the legal needs of the city until a suitable replacement is retained. I appreciate the opportunity to serve the city of Bonifay for nearly 7 years. Sincerely, Michelle Blankenship Jordan.
Get deep.
Do we need to advertise for,
let's make a motion to accept it first.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay. Need a second?
With regret. I second.
Okay. Got a second? How's the vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Now my question, we need to go ahead and advertise for, I'll make that motion, please.
Okay.
I'll second.
So you want a motion to go ahead and start the process?
Start the process
Okay.
for finding.
All right, we have a motion on the table? Second? Okay. How you vote?
Yes.
Yes.
Can we ask where it will be advertised to where people can show up for an interview and not just the one person they want to show up? Where are y'all advertising at?
On our website, in the newspaper.
Okay.
You'd like to bring up?
Order for, ready to conduct business, because you're not following.
Mr. Whitaker, do you have any business you need to bring up?
The only thing I would ask the council is to move left, to allow the police department to move forward with a, grant. It's 100% grant for some equipment for the police department. I think it's already been started. I just need y'all's permission to move forward and submit it.
Okay.
So moved. Second.
Can we ask how much that would cost?
This grant
Can we
is
get
one
a-
that's already been started, so I'm just trying to keep it from falling behind.
It'd be fully 100%.
Yes, 100%.
My vote is yes.
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 Motion carried. Thank you. Mr.
It's
Barber?
gonna be
No, sir.
100% for what?
Any other councilman got, anything they need to address? Councilman, go ahead, Richard.
When will we, be filling the, vacant position?
I would say would be within 60 days. Any other councilman got a?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
kind of somewhat embarrassed.
Okay.
There's been, someone stated something about another fire department from the county, a truck, filling in a fire hydrant here. And we were talking about conserving, water, and everybody's concerned about the cost. What type of interlocal agreement do we have with outside departments?
Well, from the past, if there's a fire or an emergency in our city, and there's a fire department that's helping us or responding to it, they will fill their truck before they go back home, so they don't have to drive home on an empty truck. And if we're in ESTO and we've used our amount of water, we will use ESTO's, water system to fill our truck. So I don't believe there's an interlocal agreement about water. But if there is a fire emergency, the municipalities work together.
What if there's not a fire?
Well,
What
if
if somebody's-
you wanted to give me the date Do you have a date?
I do, I don't think I have it with me, I think.
If,
I can get it.
if you can get me the date, I can have it looked at and see if there was a fire emergency. Yeah. Okay, if there's any more business, not any more business?
When will Phil council person be replaced?
Within the next 60 days.
Oh, okay, that's what y'all said, I'm not hearing.
I need a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second.
How's it look?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So moved.
I want to know when we're gonna get a legitimate police, a legitimate police chief and a legitimate mayor. No answer to that either, Mom.
If anybody wants a copy of the budget that I have written, I will be glad to provide
Literally bringing in a legal report to put it on record.
Well,